What's up, guys? Today we're doing another NBA tier list. A bit of a mid-season check-in, if you will. I wanted to do this during the All-Star break, but I had to delay it till now because I'm bad at managing my time. We're gonna be ranking teams today based off their basically mid-season report cards, I guess. Basically how well they've performed to expectations to this point in the season. If your team's up in the A and the S tier, that means that they have exceeded my expectations. They have been every bit as good as advertised, if not better. If they're down in the C and the F tier, and we might add a D tier actually. If your team is down in the D or the F tier, that means they have been trash. They have been really bad to this point, disappointing, and just kind of garbage. Pretty straightforward premise. Let's just get into this one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Okay, first team on the list is the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers have been weird. Luka has had a weird season. His counting stats are amazing, but his advanced numbers and some things that he's changed about his game don't look awesome. Not really the revenge tour I was expecting, but they're still the 5th seed in the West. People talk about them like they're like the 11 seed, but they're actually still one of the better teams in the West. Their center situation is a disaster. Every player on this team is a specialist in like the wrong way. All their guys that defend can't shoot. All their guys that shoot can't defend. Would be really nice to have like a Max Christie right now. Would be really nice to have like an Anthony Davis in the middle. But they've got Luka, so I mean, they're still like a good basketball team, a very weird team, and I'm really just curious to see what the when they start to make a transition from like a kind of LeBron team to a like fully Luka team, and they start to take it more slow, because I have no idea what's going on with this team right now. So I'm gonna put them in the B tier. I'm also gonna throw the Knicks in the B tier, but I guess I'll put them at the top of the B tier. Every time they go on a losing streak, they follow it up with like a 9-game winning streak. They have too many small guards, but I think honestly to this point they have played about to my expectation. They are one of the 3 best teams in the East. There are a lot of people's pick to make it out of the East. I don't think they're a perfect team by any means, but I mean, they've been good to this point. Jalen Brunson's been cooking. If they do not perform in the playoffs, Karl Anthony Towns is getting shipped to Alcatraz. So this is a super important playoffs for the Knicks. I mean, it really doesn't matter where I rate them now, because all that matters is that they get to the finals this year. Pacers I'm going to throw in the D tier. I mean, this team is really, really bad. Even though they've played most of their guys this season, they are executing a good tank. An unethical tank sometimes, but for the most part, pretty ethical. I was just thinking, like, this team, like vaguely healthy. Like, Nembhard's played most of the year. Siakam's played most of the year. Yes, their center situation's a disaster, and they flipped Mathurin at the deadline, but I mean, I would have expected more from a team with this level of, like, relative health. I didn't think they were going to be this bad, so honestly, I'm going to put them in the D tier, because they're bad and playing below my expectations. But, I mean, that's good, because they got their pick back, so you can't really complain that much. It's a gap year, after all. And then following them, the Pistons just got to go in the S tier. I mean, this team, I thought they were going to take a step back after losing Malik Beasley and adding Jimmy Neutron. But, I mean, they have been every bit as good as any other team in the NBA. They play super hard every night. Their defense is ironclad. It's ridiculous. Jalen Duren has turned into one of the most versatile centers in the NBA. They play with a ton of attitude. JB Bickerstaff's probably going to win Coach of the Year. We'll see. This team's awesome. This team is just really, really cool. They've got a chance to make the finals. Tough loss last night against the Spurs, but, I mean, still a damn good team. And, I mean, if Shea misses enough games, it looks like Cade is going to win the MVP. This has got to be an S tier performance, because they have played way above expectations. They've punched so far above their weight. They're going to be really dangerous for the next 3 to 5 years if they can keep this team together. Although if they flounder in the playoffs this year, they might be the team that ends up with Cat. We'll see. Okay, next on this list, I got the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Mavericks have sort of done exactly what I expected, which is pump fake being good for stretches of the season. Cooper Flag has been amazing. The rest of the team has been mediocre at best. They're starting to commit fully to the tank now. They flipped Anthony Davis. Kyrie Irving's going to miss the rest of the year, which I expected. It's an interesting team. It's not, I mean, they're not as bad as the Pacers. They're not nearly as good as these guys. I think I still got to throw them in. I'm going to throw them in the C tier, but they're not a high C tier team. there's nothing really special going on here. It's just good that they have their draft pick because they can add a tertiary guy to this flag situation. Love Christie, love Nembhard. I even like Cisse. Lively's fantastic, obviously, although he's missed the whole year pretty much, which kind of sucks. There's some good players on this team, but until they start flipping some of their vets for picks, like, this is going nowhere fast. So I got to throw the Mavericks in the C tier. They have performed a little bit below my expectations, and I would say a little below most people's expectations, but flag has been unbelievable, so they can't go lower than this. I'm going to throw the Thunder in the A tier. They capitalized early in the season off a really, really, really easy schedule, and since then have just been okay. They've got a ton of injuries, and they're still the best team in the Western Conference. They'd still be my pick to win the chip this year, but I would say they've been a little bit underwhelming to me. Their defense is as good as ever, but their offense just kind of sputters sometimes. Really like Jared McCain for them, actually. Just a guy who gets buckets, just a D1 hooper. That's exactly what they needed because they've got so many like consummate like role players who don't want to shoot and don't want to be the focal point. They need a guy who can just go out and score and play make. So I mean, I think they've had a good year, but not as amazing as I expected. AJ Mitchell's been great for them. This Topic storyline is really cool, and they're still the best team in the NBA, so I can't put them in like the B tier. It's not as though that they've been like that underwhelming. They're still amazing, but I mean, I don't think they've been as remarkable as the Pistons, so I'm gonna throw the Thunder in the A tier. Oh god, this can be our first F tier of the list. The New Orleans Pelicans. Jesus Christ, man. A team with Jordan Poole that doesn't even need him to be the tank commander. This team is an absolute joke. I have been such a defender of the Derek Queen trade on the basis of them not being completely fucking terrible this year, but this team doesn't do anything well. They don't do anything well. They have two good rookies, they have Trey Murphy, and they have whatever is left of Zion. He has been mostly healthy this year, and they still can't win jack dick. I don't know if it's the coaching, I don't know if it's the defense, if it's the shooting, I don't even know where the problems start and end with this team. There's so many of them. It is just an unmitigated disaster. This team is like the easiest F tier for sure. Like, I thought they were going to be like a play-in team if they were going to have this level of health, and they are like the worst team in the NBA. F tier. I'm going to throw the Rockets in the B tier, a little bit above the Lakers. Considering they don't have a point guard, they've done pretty well to this point, but you need a point guard to win basketball games. This KD Files thing has the potential to uproot like a lot of their success, but I mean, they have found like a lot of progress this year being made between Reid Shepard and Jabari Smith. A lot of the young guys in this team are really starting to like level up their game. Kevin Durant has been pretty damn good for them. It's just a team that is just very clunky, and the pieces don't fit together super well. They just kind of talent mog teams. They out rebound teams, and that's going to be a huge issue without Steven Adams for the rest of the year. So we'll see. This could be one that definitely slips, but I mean, they've been a top 5 to 6 team in the West to this point. It's not as though I expected that much. Actually, I'm going to put them here. They haven't been, I think the Lakers have pretty much played to the level that most people expected. A lot of people thought the Lakers weren't going to be that good. A lot of people thought the Rockets were going to be like a top 2 seed in the West. So I would say they've disappointed a little bit more, but they're still really, really good. Ooh, the Clippers are a tricky one. Now, start of the year, they'd be F tier. The last like 2 or 3 months, they'd be like here. So I guess on aggregate, they also made that big Garland trade, but they're still like the 10 seed when they were expected to be way higher than that. I mean, I guess I'll put them top of the C tier. Very underwhelming to start to the year, but I mean, they flipped James Harden into a younger, potentially better point guard for their future. They've added young assets. The young players that they have on the team have performed really, really well. I love Niederhauser. I love Kobe Sanders. Jordan Miller is really good. They've got a lot of good guys on this team already. Kawhi Leonard he's just getting in his office on every single play. He's like, his bag work is immaculate this year. He's playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play. They're still old and they're still mid, but I mean, like, considering where they started the year, it could be a lot worse, so I'll put them in the C tier. Boston is another team that I think I have to put in the S tier. This was a team that I thought would be fighting, like, at best for the 8th seed, and they are competing for the 1 seed. In the East, they have just shot the lights out all year. Jaylen Brown is a legit MVP candidate. They're deep, super well coached. They just blitz teams on offense, and just they've got so many like technical, strategic players. Hugo Gonzalez Gonzalez has been great for them. Even Baylor Shireman, their other young players have been fun for them. Just like a team with like just a bunch of marauding guards. They get up a ton of threes. They're just really tough to stop. They could be a nightmare matchup for a lot of teams in the East. I think there's this sort of rock, paper, scissors game between them, the Pistons, and the Knicks, where I'd pick the Pistons to beat New York. I'd pick New York to beat Boston because they did it last year, and I'd pick Boston to beat Detroit. That's like the rock, paper, scissors of it to me. They've got a chance to make the NBA Finals, and if Jason Tatum comes back, I'd probably favor them to make the Finals, because this team is absolutely nuts this year. I'm astonished that they're this good. I have no idea what to make of the Nets. I didn't really watch the Nets. I guess I'll throw them in the C tier. Really good season from MPJ. Their young players or whatever. I like Clowney. I like Joman. I like Derek Powell? No, I'm thinking of Derek Whitehead. Drake Powell. Just like a whatever bad team that I don't think is particularly special, and they're just going to get their high pick this year, and they're going to check out. That's really all I got to say. The Hawks have pissed me off so much this year. I'm going to put them in the bottom of the D tier. They're supposed to be where Boston is right now. They're supposed to have a statue. This was a perfect team centered around Trae Young. They had the big-time defensive wings. They had a center that I really trusted. Jalen Johnson made a massive leap, and then Trae Young got hurt, and the whole thing fell apart. So Trae Young's in Washington now. It's a Jalen Johnson team. I don't really know what the axis of it is. Fortunately, they do have the Pelicans pick, which means they're about to get gold in this lottery, but other than that, I mean, really not a special season from them at all. I'll put them above the Pacers only because Jalen Johnson has been incredible to this point. He's been one of the best players in the NBA, genuinely. But Reese Isaiah is disappointed. I'm not sure if Onyeka Okongwu is an elite level starting center at this point. It's just a really weird team, and they've underwhelmed like crazy. I thought this was going to be a top 3 seed in the East, and they're barely going to scrape into the play-in. So not good at all. San Antonio is going to be another team I'm going to put in the A tier. I'm going to put them above Oklahoma City, actually. They're in this tier of contenders when really a lot of people thought that they'd be in the middle range. I didn't think a lot of people were expecting them to just go out and be like a no-brainer contender to make the finals this year, but that's really how they're looking. Their defense is crazy. They've got these 3 slashing guards that are so goddamn hard to stop. One of them is going to have a good game pretty much every night between Harper, Castle, and Fox, and Wemby is just, dude, the guy's an aircraft carrier. It's insane. He invents new ways to block out the sun on some of these plays on defense, and then offensively, I mean, he can invent offense too. He's a technician to the highest degree, and he's been fantastic this year. So, I mean, I really can't put them any lower than the A tier. They've been phenomenal, and I think they've been better than I expected. And I had very high expectations from this team. I thought this team could be a top 3 to 4 seed, and they have played not only to that level, but they have played as a really good 2 to 4 seed. They are legit contenders. I'm not picking them to beat Oklahoma City. I'm probably not picking them to beat Denver, but they're definitely in the conversation. Okay, next we got the Sacramento Kings. They are going in the F tier. Just I took the under on them. I hammered the under on them, actually. And other than some of their young players, they are just they're the Kings. They're the Kings again. We're still doing this. Orlando's another team that's gonna go in the D tier, kind of like the Hawks. I thought these guys were gonna run the East this year. This was my 1 and 2 seeds pretty much in my head. As much as New York was an obvious choice, the hipster picks were these guys, and I really liked both of them. This team can't score, and they can't seem to get any rhythm when Paolo and Franz are in the game at the same time. I think the writing is on the wall that Paulo Banchero is not going to be on the Orlando Magic pretty soon. We'll see what happens with that in the offseason, but this has been incredibly disappointing. They made their first big swing in forever in a trade when they went and got Desmond Bane for $1 million first-round picks, and he has not been bad. He's been actually pretty good since a pretty rocky start to the season. But, I mean, this team, despite developments from, Anthony Black, despite Jalen Suggs being good when he plays, despite Franz Wagner being good when he plays, they cannot score. They still can't score. It's 15 years in a row that this team's bottom 10 in offense. It's the craziest record in the NBA. I like Jamal Mosley. He did a good job for a certain amount of time. But, at a certain point, with this much talent on your roster, you should be better than a bottom 10 offense. There's just no excuses at this point, and so they've got to figure something out. because otherwise they're going to lose Paulo Banchero for less than what he's worth, because he's still going to be amazing wherever he ends up. They have just been a disaster this year. Really, really disappointed by them. And that's in spite of, like, all their young guys being, like, really fun and good. I didn't even mention, like, Tristan Da Silva. He's been great. Jace Richardson, he's been great. Golden State's another C-tier team. I guess I'll put them ahead of the Nets because they're actually competent. I don't know, though. They've been kind of mid. The Jonathan Kuminga thing ended badly. I mean, everyone could see that coming from a mile away. Porzingis is an interesting addition for them. I actually like it, just like a raw talent injection, a guy who can kind of run stuff like when Steph and Jimmy are out of the game. And, well, I guess Jimmy's gonna be out of the game for a while. When he's healthy, that's a good addition. When Steph is healthy, obviously this team is much better. They've had a lot of health issues all year, but their bench is really starting to thin out. Their young player rotation is really not all that great. Nothing to write home about between Pods and Jackson Davis, who's now in Toronto, and Guy Santos. Like, it's really nothing special going on with this team. This is just the end of the dynasty, and it, like, I in a way, Steph is holding them back because he's pretty much untradeable. He is the franchise, so this thing is gonna go out sad, but also in a way, like, you know, this is how it goes when you win this many titles. I mean, either you keep Steph or you get rid of him and you fully blow this thing up, because there are no more routes to run. There is no Giannis trade. There is no big superstar trade on the horizon, I don't think, because they just don't really have the players to make it happen. And I think even if they did, I don't really think it's worth it at this point. So yeah, Golden State, pretty upsetting season. They're very mid, but I mean, they're not that bad. Certainly better than these teams. Washington, though. Washington has been as bad as I expected. Their young guys have actually probably been better than I expected for the most part, like Trey Johnson. Alex Sarr has had an incredible season. Kaishan George, just the confidence he spews is just crazy. I thought he was just going to be like a 3-and-D guy after last year, but he's got way more ball skills than I thought. They've got a bunch of young guys. They've been about as I expected, so I mean, I guess I'll throw them in the C tier. They're bad, but I mean, they're doing it like this is like, they're just bad. They're just a regular young bad team. They're doing it properly, and I like the Trae Young trade. I think the Trae Young trade is a good upside swing for them, and if it doesn't work out, then they can kind of just wash their hands of it pretty hands-free, like nothing, no consequences to it. It's not like they lost anything substantial in that deal. Ooh, Philly is a tough one. Now, Embiid has been pretty damn good for a couple months now, like legit one of the best jump shooters in the NBA since January, I'm pretty sure. I guess I'll throw them in the bottom of the D tier. I guess I'll throw them in the bottom of the Tyrese Maxey's having the season of his life. VJ Edgecomb's been awesome. They're just another team that I think, I mean, they're a couple of bananas short of a bunch or whatever. Like, they're a couple eggs short of a dozen. I don't know. Idioms. They're good. They're not great. I wouldn't pick them to beat any of these elite teams in the East. The health thing is not as much of a concern for me at this point. They've kind of held it together for a few months now. Embiid is not as good as he used to be, and they're going to have to add more players on the wing. The Paul George suspension actually really hurts them, I think. They're going to just have to add more stuff going forward to make this Tyrese Maxey team a little bit better, but they've been good to this point. I think the Timberwolves sneakily are, like, still serious contenders, and I'm going to put them, like, here. I think the Timberwolves have been pretty damn good this year. They're a tough one. They're a super moody team from week to week. I mean, this team looks like it's just crashing, but they're always winning basketball games. Their defense is ironclad. They have the most likable superstar in the NBA. They made a great addition at the trade deadline. They got out of the Rob Dillingham thing. Ayo is going to be perfect for them. He gives them that one last bench piece that I think they need to make that bench competent. Blah. I think after San Antonio, Denver, and Oklahoma City, it's Minnesota. And Minnesota can very easily beat any of those teams, I think, except OKC. I may pick Minnesota in those series. Ant has to do a lot, so it'd be nice to see them to add even more ball handling, give him another guy to play off of, but Julius Randle has been really good to this point as well. So I'd say this is like a B tier season for Minnesota. Maybe a little bit better than I expected, or about the same as I expected, really. Chicago's in the bottom of the D tier. They are not quite in the F tier yet. They had a nice start, and they've had some things go for them, like, well, Josh Giddey has been good. Matas Buzelis has made the necessary improvements in his second season. His game looks way more polished, but the rookie has given them exactly nothing, and his shoulder's all fucked up now. They made a bunch of bad trades at the deadline, like the Chicago Bulls are ones to do, but they also got Jaden Ivey. So, I mean, I think that's a big plus for them. So I can't put them in the F tier. I'll put them in the D tier. They are not good. just very, very upsetting, like always. Got about 8 more left here. We got the Denver Nuggets next. Now, the Nuggets have had a bunch of health problems, but they have been able to survive without Jokic, which is new. Jamal Murray's having the best year of his career. They've got a deeper bench than ever. It's just, if Aaron Gordon's hamstring doesn't work, then they're going to get bounced. And if Aaron Gordon's hamstring does work, then they can win a title this year. It's as simple as that. I'm going to put them in the B tier. The Utah Jazz piss me off to no end, but I mean, they have made some good leaps this year. They've made some progress in terms of who's actually a guy on this team. They've got a Keontae George-Isaiah Collier problem. I don't know if they can play together, and when they play separately, they're both awesome. So we'll see. Maybe he's the next, like, Harden, McCain, Shea, just like a young guard that gets traded too early. Larry Markkanen's having like the best year of his career, but I mean, the tanking is so egregious. And while I do like the Jaren Jackson trade, I think it completely contradicts like the attitude of this team. I think they need to get more serious. They need to get real. They need to get right. This offseason's going to be really interesting for them. So I'm going to throw Utah in. You know what? I'll throw them in like the bottom of the C tier. I'm going to throw them into the top of the D tier, actually, because I think the way they go about being bad, whereas like Washington, I think as Washington has no means to be good. I think they were just going to be bad no matter what. The Jazz, like they just like, they don't even, it's egregious. This is egregious what they're doing. It's really disgusting. And I think it's bad for the culture. So I think they've maybe taken the tanking thing a bit too far. But, I mean, Keontae's had a great season, so they're not the worst of the worst. Toronto's going to be my third A tier. This team has been phenomenal this year. I totally thought they were going to be mediocre and bad and garbage. But, I mean, their defense is great. They're super versatile. The playmaking by committee works super well when you've got a bunch of guys who can move without the ball, some guys who can hit spot-up threes. No one on this team is an elite three-point shooter, but they've got a bunch of guys who are good enough that, I mean, like going to Toronto games, I think the atmosphere of that crowd, really, you can tell when the team has it going, and you can tell when those momentum shifting threes are coming, and they hit them when it counts, and that's really all that matters to me. Super up and down season for a bunch of their young guys. While I like Jacoby Walter, I'm not in love with him. Certainly not in love with the season Grady Dick is having, but I mean, like, Colin Murray-Boyles has been about as good as I expected. He's been phenomenal in limited playing time. Scotty Barnes, a deserved all-star and potential DPOY this year. Brandon Ingram's been a bucket. We know what he does well. Very good team. Much better than I expected. Much better than I expected. I didn't think this was going to work at all. I think this team could sneaky make the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I really don't put them that much lower than, like, the Knicks. I don't put them that much lower than, like, the upper echelon teams in the East. They're that good. The Suns are going to be another S tier for me, probably. Maybe A tier. I have to throw them in the S tier. The Suns have been just a revelation this year. Another team that gets up a ton of threes, a bunch of guys who are unselfish, who move without the ball, who are just scrappy. They've just got some dogs on this team between Grayson Allen and Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks. They play with a lot of attitude. And, I mean, they run these three-guard lineups that sort of just beat the brakes off of certain teams. And they've gotten health from Mark Williams, which is really impressive because we've, like, literally never seen that. And despite their rookies pretty much contributing nothing, which is kind of, like, weird because I thought those were going to be, like, a big part of their season. I thought Fleming and Malawach, two of my favorite prospects in this draft, were going to really kick ass, especially on defense. Despite them really not giving them anything, I mean, they've been a good defense and an arguably even better offense. Like, they've been a really good team all season. Just really good years from Grayson Allen and Dylan Brooks, and this is like despite Devin Booker not playing out of his mind by any means. Jordan Knott should also definitely get Coach of the Year. Pretty much everyone up in this top 6, like, their coaches should get like Coach of the Year buzz for sure, especially these top 3. I don't think I can put Milwaukee outside the F tier. They're going to lose Giannis. They're going to lose everything in that divorce. Kevin Porter Jr. is like the best thing about this team half of the time, which is like pretty much like that's DEFCON 5 or DEFCON 1, whichever is the bad between the DEFCONs. That's when Kevin Porter is the best thing about your team. They've gotten really good stuff out of Ryan Rollins, and they added Cam Thomas, which, like, I mean, we'll see. That just reeks of desperation to me. This is just a disaster. Like, they should be better than this if you have the best player on the earth, but I mean, it's over. So, you know, this is just what it looks like when it's over. F tier. Memphis is a tricky one because I think they're starting to do the calcs of this rebuild really well. They've got a bunch of good pieces, and they got a lot in that Jaren Jackson trade. I think they sold pretty high on him, and I think they pulled the trigger at the right time to blow this thing up because they've got enough time still to become like a bottom 8 team and get a really good pick. And like you pair that with Cedric Coward, who's had a good season. How did we get from Parade in my city to John Morant being a negative trade asset, this team blowing it up, and all of the guys from that exciting Grizzlies team from like 3 years ago, all of that is gone now. All of that infrastructure has been reduced to atoms. And the only guy that's left is the main guy. It's a really, really weird situation for him to be in, and I have no idea what a John Morant team, like, trade looks like. I mean, maybe the Nets, if they don't end up drafting a point guard in this draft, go after him. It's unknowable what the best fit for him is, because, I mean, all the teams that are good and need a point guard, like the Rockets and the Timberwolves, I mean, that's a really big swing, so I have no idea if he really fits there. I have no idea what to make of the Grizzlies, so I guess that makes them a C tier. They can't get this rebuild started soon enough, honestly. Ooh, the Hornets are a tough one. I'm gonna put them in the bottom of the A tier, though, because they actually flipped the script on my expectations this year. Unfortunately, before this season, I sold, like, literally all my stock in this team. The season that they're having right now was what I thought they were gonna do last year, and then the whole team got hurt, and they were just bad. But this year, all of that speed and creativity between their 3, like, premier ball handlers, between Khan, Brandon, and Melo, they have been phenomenal to this point. Since January, at the very least, they've been like a top 3 team in the NBA. Their offense is it's like ridiculous. And their defense is good, too, when they've got Diabate in the game. They can really guard up when they really want to. They've instituted culture. They've added some good vets. This is a good team. I think they just need to add a few more veteran pieces in the offseason and maybe trim off some of the fat. But, I mean, to be honest, they've actually already done that. I think every single player on this team plays a very particular role. Not every piece of it works. I'm looking at you, T. John Salon. Like, what does he do? But this is a team that went from, like, the 11th seed 3 months ago to probably gonna get a top 8 seed, and I would even say maybe a top 6 team. A lot of teams in the East are floundering right now, and the Hornets are on a rocket. They are really, really good, and they're punching way above their weight. I thought they were gonna have a disaster year where LaMelo gets traded, and they have managed to flip that script completely. A tier for sure. Portland is another team that I have absolutely no idea what to make of them. They have a very weird guard rotation. Scoot Henderson just came back. Shaedon Sharpe has had a very unremarkable season. Denny Avdi has been great, but, like, other than that, I don't know, C tier. Miami, same deal. Their offense was really cool early in the year, but, like, now they're just mediocre, so C tier. Both of these teams, like maybe the Blazers were slightly above my expectations, so they can go there. Heat are, like, slightly below my expectations, so they go, like, here. And then last but not least, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll throw them in the B tier. They've been good. They have been disappointing compared to last year, but they have been on a rocket since they got James Harden, and I think that's a big factor for them. This is another team where nothing matters in the regular season for them. This is just about making the Eastern Conference Finals, and if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, disaster. They've already broken up their backcourt, so I don't really know what the next move for them is. I guess Jared Allen? Maybe they go after Giannis with Evan Mobley. It's really unknowable what happens next if they don't make the conference finals. There's more pressure on them than anyone to make it happen. But, I mean, they've been good, so I gotta put them in the B tier. Listen, that's gonna do it for me, though. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to do more tier lists, trying to do more videos all the time. Let me know what you guys want to see next down in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys in the next video, man. Peace.